Hello, and thank you for joining me tonight. This video is a focus on aligning with money energy. It has a big deal to do with, wealth, prosperity, bringing money to us, opening the channels for money to flow to us, and being open to giving and receiving. I'm going to go over some little practices that we can do and stones that are just known to have a connection to abundance and wealth and luck and money in general and stuff like that. We're going to be doing a distance Reiki session, not only to help us align again with that energy, but to remove any blockages that might be preventing the flow of money energy coming to us. If you've never seen one of my videos before, thank you so much for watching. I'm a Master Teacher Reiki Practitioner. I work out of the New York City, New Jersey area. If you'd like to connect on social media, we could do that on Snapchat, Instagram, or Facebook. Or you could check out my website, which is INNATE.com. There you can send me a message, check out my blog and see the schedule of videos that I have, make a donation if you feel so inclined, and check out my services because I have a few things that I offer on a more specific, more personally focused basis. There are always some things to keep in mind when we want to attract money to us, when we're looking for wealth or abundance and things like that. There needs to be avenues for these to reach you. Like, you can't sit on your couch, you can't just stay home and not change a single thing in your life and expect for money to just fall out of the sky. I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but the things that would be required for the universe to make that happen would take so long or be so just grandiose that the more avenues you open up for money to flow to you, the more you'll receive, the more chances you have, the better the odds, if you want to say that. It's not to say also that there would only be, if you opened all these channels, it would only come from one. It could come from many. It could come from passive forms of income, unexpected forms of income, and then typical ones or ones that you do expect to earn something from. So if you're working a job that you don't feel like you're making enough at, you're going to have to do some things to either get rid of that job, maybe climb the ladder in the job, get some overtime. With this session, I'm not looking for us to work harder to make more. That's not what this is about. In fact, I think we should all maybe work a little less, it's not like we need more hours, we need more work, we need to work more. No. We need to be able to collect more. We need it to come to us more. It has nothing to do with the work that we're doing, if you're doing some work at all. Something, you could look at it from your job angle. If you have a side project you're doing, are you working on something? Do you have ideas for something? Do you play the lottery? You can't expect for, you want to hit $20 billion, $20 million, but you don't play the lottery. So how would that even reach you ever? Somebody's just gonna hand it over to you. You have to be participating in whatever it is you're trying to attract. You can look into that as networking and getting out, get out there, I've said this before in some other things, but it's if you want to meet love, let's say somebody who's looking for love, you can't expect to hang out with the same group of people, or even not hang out with people at all, and expect for love to find you all super easily. It's not to say it wouldn't happen, but the more you get out there and broaden your social circle, or you visit different areas that you don't typically go, whether that be whatever, libraries, movies, farmers markets. When we want something new to come into our life, we should be open to trying new things to see if those are avenues for them to reach us at. Another thing to consider is that we need to establish a good and healthy relationship with money. We can no longer do this situation of where we look at someone who has the job we want, or the car we want, or the house we want, or whatever, and be oh, well, screw that. That should be mine. That should be my house. That's not how it works. You being jealous or negative about it is only going to push it further from you. The universe is win-win. That's what dwells here. Just when you see someone with something like that, and you start to feel that it's human nature, oh, but I want that. Let's be yeah, good for you. You got that. That means I can get that, you know? Like, don't think of it as they have something. That means I don't have something. You can turn this around and look at it as a guilt aspect too. Sometimes we have a guilt associated with money, like, you know, we know that we want it, but should we want it? Or, oh, who am I to have, you know, this type of car when there are people starving and can't pay their bill? Like, we have this guilt kind of feeling and we have this jealousy feeling. So both of those need to be completely gotten rid of. Just because you have something doesn't mean you're taking it away from someone else. Sure, when you have money, it gives you an opportunity to be generous and donate to charities that are meaningful to you, or help people out, things like that. That's a different story. That's not guilt, that's being charitable. Those two things, the guilt and the jealousy, are just, they're really detrimental to our connection and our relationship with money. There are other things that money is associated with. Bills, things that we like don't like, you know, like, oh, my phone bill was twice as much this month. I need, you know, oh man, and you like stress over it. Or things that happen unexpectedly, like you need new tires, you know, dental bills, like all different things that come up. When those things come up, we have to train our thoughts to not take it to a negative place. It has to come from a place of gratitude, like, which is tricky, but I'm so glad I have the money to pay for this. Oh, you know, oh, I'm so glad I have some kind of insurance, or I'm so glad that I, you know, have something where I can start to pay for this. And if you don't get upset. Everyone has different unique problems. I'm not trying to say that like, oh, everything's fine, like you all figure it out, but like we will figure it out. If we have faith and trust in the fact that we've made it this far, you know, like we're on our path, we're doing our thing, we know we're doing well, we know we're on the inside doing well, and we're developing these healthy relationships. Just trust that, like, okay, we'll figure this out, you know, like this isn't going to be the end of the world. Money comes and goes. Like, we can't think of it that way. We can't let it stress us out. It's not going to make you richer. It's only going to make you feel like you're lacking. It's only going to put you in this place of need and want, like in a negative sense. And it's just not healthy. It's not going to bring it to you. So do what you can to like let that shit go. Like, take a walk, sit down at your computer or whatever you do your like your like, you know, financial things on, and just get a plan going. Like, okay, well, you know, I have this debt, I have this, I have that. Let me get this going, set up automatic payments, and just don't think about it anymore. Just like, it's taken care of. It's gonna take however long it takes or whatever, but it's taken care of, and don't let it become like a stress for you. So another thing that I talked about, this is something that's kind of going on in the Dynamic Thought series, the Creative Consciousness series that I'm doing, but this applies very much to the whole changing our relationship with money, changing because this for a lot of us is a big issue in our lives. You know, some of us just want more, you know, and like that's cool, but some of us have had a problem like our whole life with feeling like they were always in this place of that there wasn't enough, and you just have to keep working. You have to work harder and harder and harder, and it gets harder and harder and harder for you to become aligned with this. So changing your relationship and the way that you think about money is one thing, but let's change our history with money. So let's change, you know, the things that we say, that we tell ourselves about money. So we're going to discuss affirmations in a little bit, but I have everything I need. I have always had everything I need. Like, bring it back, like take it a step back so you develop that like stable foundation. I am able to give generously. I have always been able to give generously, you know, like I am supported. I have always been supported. Like, take it back. It's going to feel so much better, and do what you can to incorporate your emotions. When we incorporate emotions, we're building a much more elaborate picture or universe for ourselves or whatever, that things just become more attracted to. It becomes more real. Like, emotions make things more real because it kind of like tricks our mind a little. So when you're thinking about this stuff, I have more than I need. I've always had more than I need, you know, and feel it and be like, that feels good, you know, like let it sink in, let it feel good, because the better it feels, the more quickly and more easily and more comfortably it's going to come to you. We don't want to have to, you know, get in some type of accident and like sacrifice some part of our well-being or our health in order for us to like collect a check, you know? Like that's not what we're trying to do here. We want this to come naturally and comfortably and in perfect alignment and for the good of us, not like this like eye for an eye kind of situation. Affirmations are really useful and they work. They really work. YouTube has hundreds, if not thousands, of affirmation, subliminal messages, videos on attracting wealth and abundance and stuff. Those are all more personal taste, you know, like there's ones that are like millionaire mindset. There's ones that are just kind of like all in all, like how the law of attraction works for you and you're controlling your thoughts and you're just like in this blissful state. So some of them have like, you know, ocean sounds, some of them have birds, some of them just have like beats or whatever, like frequencies. So that's like a personal thing for you to discover. But they work. Like, go ahead, use those for what they are. Go to sleep listening to it. If you're doing some work at your desk or if you're doing something, instead of putting on some music that is going to be like putting like maybe a negative program into you, listen to something like that, you know, like it's beneficial and you'll feel it like start to flow out of you. Whenever I'm doing like making necklaces and you're doing readings or sessions and stuff, I always have some type of like really mood setting music going on. It might be really simple, but if I'm doing like prosperity stuff, I will play some affirmations. Or if I'm sending energy, I will recite affirmations out loud because I want them to like sink into the person. But anyway, I'm kind of just saying that like I do it. I think that you should do it. You might already be doing it. Those things really work and there's just such a wealth out there for you to select from. This is like kind of silly, but something I really find super helpful, like I was saying, sometimes we listen to music that might not have like the best message for us. Like if it's a song that gets stuck in your head and you're like singing this verse over and over again, because that's kind of how it goes, right? You like kind of get one part of the song stuck in your head. It might be a song about like fighting with your girlfriend or people being like, oh, I'm better than you, like, but like in a nasty way, or like combative things, or sad, like sad songs. Something that I really enjoy, and I know this is like super goofy, but I swear by it. Change the lyrics, like keep the rhythm, keep that thing that like catches, but change the lyrics, like change the lyrics that's personal to you, make it funny, you know, like it's cool, it's funny, it's fine. Have a sense of humor about it, but manipulate the lyrics so that it's something that's going to benefit you. So you're singing the song in your head and it's catchy, but it's like a message that you've created that you know is going to benefit you. And it's such a good way to do it. And I do it for like all different things. And I know it's like bizarre, but I'm telling you, like it really works. And it's a great way for us to kind of manipulate these things that are already we're already so susceptible to, because we love beats, we love rhythm, we love music, you know, like it's something that really gets to us. So access it, you know, change it for you and access that. It's really funny, but great. Going back a little to the guilt that we feel about money, I'm not saying that like you can't like focus on like this like car or this material thing that you want and not get it. Like I don't mean that at all. However, I do feel that when we feel like our request or our desire for this money energy is noble in a sense, it removes a blockage for us. We remove our own blockage and if you don't feel guilt and you're just like, hey, this is what I want, I deserve this, like more power to you. Like I'm not saying don't do that, but for the rest of us, if you do have that guilt association, if you want something, make it be something noble, you know, and that will you'll remove that blockage and it will flow to you more easily. That could be, I want to make more money because I want the things that I love. Like I want to have the things that bring me joy. Like look at it that way. I want to have more money because I want to take my friends on vacation, because I want to, you know, help somebody out, or I want to, you know, do something nice for my parents because they did so much for me, or anything like that, you know, like just kind of like put it into this place where it's not so material, it's not so superficial. It can help. So it's just something to think about. All right, another thing is that when we give, we receive. When we give, we get. Clean out your closet. Like, donate those clothes that you don't wear anymore. Do nice things for people, even if it's not like a material thing, like donations. You know, if you can buy somebody like who's in line behind you their coffee, or if you can pay someone a compliment, like be generous in all aspects. Be generous with your compliments, with your kindness, with your love. Like, those generosities come back in all different forms. So just something to consider. When you give, you get. So give what you can. All right, so I'm going to share with you some stones that are just known for their purpose of attracting wealth or money or prosperity, money energy, abundance, and things like that. So that's why I selected most of them. Here we have one of my favorites. It looks like this freaking meteor. I love it. This is a piece of garnet. These all have multiple purposes, but again, like, I'm bringing these out specifically for their luck, money, energy, prosperity, things like that. So here's a piece of garnet, and I absolutely love this stone. I kind of bought it with the intention of like giving it to someone else, so I kept it because I just fell in love with it. I'll pass it on one day. I'll be generous one day. Alright, so here's a piece of green Aventurine. Again, another prosperity stone, great for attracting abundance. It's kind of like a happy stone, a lucky stone. It might be even classified as like a gambler's stone. These are so beautiful, but I don't really go for them all the time. The green one though, I couldn't resist. This is a piece of goldstone, green goldstone. Now goldstone is similar to like an opalite. It's a man-made stone. It's like a glass, like quartz. There might be some fluorite or just like other minerals in it, but we'll call it quartz for the most part. And I can't remember off the top of my head what creates the green color in this one, but there is something. The typical goldstone is like a nice shade of like softer brown with these like golden flecks, and they're very sparkly. And then there's a blue goldstone, which is blue, which also has like goldeny kind of orangey flecks, but this one is green and has green flecks. So these little pieces, I believe, are pieces of copper, copper is a very conductive metal for when we're working with energies. Well, all metal is, but copper is known for its healing properties. You'll see a lot of healers wearing copper. And the green is a great one for like prosperity and stuff. So I brought this out due to the color, the fact that it does go along with the theme, but also the fact that it's very programmable. So because it is basically like a clear quartz, it has been manipulated, but it's basically a clear quartz with copper inside. So this can be programmed very easily, and the fact that it has the copper just adds to it, and I really, really think that's awesome. And it's gorgeous. Here we have a piece of star ruby. Now, when I get pieces like this, and like most tumbled pieces you'll find, or like little smaller ones, they're not going to be perfect. Like, these are not the ones that they're making into, terribly expensive, or, more expensive cabochons or jewelry pieces. These are the rest of the rock. So here's a star ruby. Again, ruby, prosperity and luck and abundance and whatnot. Here is a nice, beautiful raw chunk of tiger's eye. This was from Monk and Lune. This was actually a gift to me, so I'm just very grateful for it. Again, this is just, they all have the same theme, so I feel like I'm boring you with it, but again, another great prosperity stone. And then we have these two pieces of citrine. So these are both natural citrine points. Natural citrine is actually kind of expensive. This one in particular, the smoky citrine, was kind of expensive. And I got it at a show too. Okay, so citrine, again, is a whole merchant stone. It's good for bringing in money. And I chose 2 points because one, the smoky will help us to remove any negativity that we have associated with money. But also because as I'm building this grid here, I'm going to have one pointing in and one pointing out, and that relation to giving and receiving. Okay. So I'm not going to light an incense. I have something different today. something when you're working on a specific focus, it's and this could happen. You could take this into anything. It's great to use candles. Like if you're into, I'm gonna call it candle magic. I'm gonna be so bold, but lighting candles as significance has been around for, I don't know, since we've discovered fire, probably since we had candles. There's a significance there. You put your intent into the candle, like I'm charging it with wealth, prosperity, abundance, money, energy just flowing to us and being our best friend. And I picture it like almost like in a human shape, and it's like kind of flowing though at the same time, almost like it's made out of money and coins and money, and it's just kind of like flowing, and that's just its energy. And it's there for me, and it supports me, and it's my friend, and it will always be there. And it always has been there. So you can, take a little candle. This is just a little tea light. And there are essential oils or herbs, fresh herbs that you can use for all different things, but of course for money energy. So what I'm going to do is anoint this candle with 3 different essential oils. Well, 2 essential oils and then a blend that I made. So this is basil. It smells so good. I love basil essential oil. I think it's probably a little much for some people. Oh, that was fast. So I like to do 3 drops of each oil. 3 holds significance for me. I wouldn't say it's my favorite number, but in a magical sense, 3 is very significant. So then I'm going to do that again with the spearmint. So spearmint, basil, mint in general, green leaves. Sometimes when I'm doing money energy stuff for myself, even when I make like my green smoothie in the morning, I will be like, just like envisioning that I'm throwing in like money and stuff, and I'm just like drinking this like money energy, and it's amazing. It really works. Like, it's funny. So this is like an oil that I made myself. It has clove in it, and clove is a very magical herb, spice. Goodness, I don't even know. So I put in 3 of each, and now I'm doing 3 of this one. So that totals 9. And 9 is a very significant number as well. So I'm not going to go into numbers and stuff on this because I will ramble on forever. You know that. So I'm going to light this candle and ask that this candle, for whoever's watching this video, who's ever open to receiving, helps us to align with money energy, to see it as our friend, to know that it's there to support us, and that we want to forgive ourselves for any sort of rejection that we had. Now, obviously, no one's going to say, I don't reject money, I want money. But like, look at your actions, look at your thoughts, you might be rejecting it by that like whole concept of, oh, that guy has that, oh, what a jerk, like, I want that, like that kind of thing. Those are our actions, and those have hurt our relationship with money energy. So we want to remove stuff like that. And I'm going to do this in the Reiki session too, but this just adds an element of power to it. Also, when I'm dedicating a grid, like what I do during my sessions, like my personal sessions, I build a grid for my client, and I'll take a small candle like this and dedicate it to them and set the intention that the grid be active and dedicated to that person for as long as the candle is burning. So it's like a nice little thing to do. So we're going to light this. The flame is so significant because it's like the ether. It's like the connection to the other planes, which is super magical and cool. Alright, so we have our grid, our candle. It smells really good. I love mixing the oils too, because like you'll get this like basil smell, and then like a few minutes later you'll get like a minty smell, so it's kind of neat because it changes. So to clear our space, we're going to use some singing bowl. Just a little. you would like to receive this distance Reiki session, all you have to do is say either aloud or to yourself that I'm open to receiving. I'm grateful for it. Sometimes when you add that gratitude, it allows you to receive easier. And my intent is for all of our highest and greatest goods and perfect comfort and alignment to let go of any blockages that we have that are preventing us from receiving for that flow. And helping us to allow the universe to do its thing, to come up with ideas as we're meditating, as we're relaxing, come up with ideas of these avenues, these passive forms of income that can come to us from expected and unexpected places. So, okay, so now we're gonna do like aura fluffing, which if you watch my videos, you've seen this 100 times. I do this to add in protection for your aura, and it's more comfortable. I know I've said this before, but someone asked, so I get asked a lot if you need to be like having your hands out to receive and stuff like that. No, you don't. You can just chill however you feel comfortable. Sorry, my dog is like making sounds. He's cozy. combing just to like smooth it out. It feels nice. I've said this before as well, but the reason I do it this way is not just for ASMR or relaxing purposes, but when you get your Reiki 2 certification and you learn distance Reiki, there's lots of ways you can send it, but I like to use a proxy because it just gives me, I don't always, but I like to use a proxy because it gives me something physical to focus on. And my camera right now is my proxy. I've got eyes, ears, legs, kind of shoulders even. So that's what I do. That's my style. Okay. I just thought of something now too. Another thing would be, and this could go for a lot of different stuff, but watch what you say to people. Watch how you say things and you express yourself, because not only does it resonate within you, so if you're like, oh, I don't have enough money, or oh, I can't do that, I'm broke, like those kind of things, not only is that sinking into your subconscious, but it's also expressing it to someone who is then, without intention of hurting you, is then going to project it back onto you. Like that's what you tell them, that's what you are, that's how they're going to see you. And those projections kind of get stuck in our aura or subtle body. So it's just good to, we want to share, but some things are good to keep it to yourself. Or just be mindful, at least, rather, is a better way of saying it. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you found it relaxing or beneficial or something to think about. Please subscribe if you like my channel. It means a lot to me and it helps me out. Other things that you can do to help me out. Share or like or comment. Those things are just very, very beneficial to me, and I'm so grateful for all of you that do that. It's huge to me, so thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for being part of my journey and allowing me to be a part of yours. I'm so grateful. Namaste.